What's up guys, Average Tech Guy here, and today we are back and we're just going to be doing a quick comparison. We all know that the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus are going to be coming out very soon, or either the Note 10 and Note 10 Pro. I've been hearing Plus and Pro. With that being said, I have three variants of the Note right here. Now, Note 10 dummy model, Note 9 dummy model, Note 8. This is one I've been rocking since day one, since it came out. This is what I've been using. I'm going to break all of them down. I'm going to go through the full specs. So let's check them out. So we are going to get started with this one. This is the Galaxy Note 8. This is the one that I've been rocking for the past 2 years. No issues with this phone whatsoever. This has been my daily driver off and on, other than when I use the Galaxy S10 Plus for a little while. This has been my mainstay. This has been my go-to. This one boasts a 6.3 inch quad HD display, a Super AMOLED screen, 532 ppi on this one, has a dual 12 megapixel shooter on the back, has a front facing camera with 8 megapixels, 6 gigs of RAM on here. Storage is in 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, and 256. Has USB Type-C, nano SIM slot tray, micro SD card, 3300 milliamp hours, and this one actually started at $960. At the time when this came out, this was a great buy. I got this when it first came out. No regrets, no issues, no worries. You got your camera on the back. Fingerprint scanner was right there. It worked flawlessly, no issues. You did have to get your finger right there on it though. And if your finger was kind of wet, it had issues at times, but that was it. Power button was over here on the side. The Bixby button, which I did not use, which could not be remapped on this version. And then volume up and down, speakers down bottom, charging port, headphones, you name it, it has it. Slim SIM tray and everything up top. It was a great device to use, especially with the S Pen, because S Pen is one of the best features on these devices. Take it out, write your notes, go on about everyday life. So now let's move on to the Note 9 and check it out. So the Note 9 was a great device in its own respect as well. This device had a 6.4 inch AMOLED display. It boasted the 12 megapixel shooter on the back, as well as an 8 megapixel shooter on the front. Had 8 gigs of RAM. It came in only two variants, 128 and 512 gigs. Had USB Type-C along the bottom. Had your speakers and everything, headphone jack, S Pen slot, and like I said, this is a dummy model, but this one also had micro SD card storage up to 1 terabyte. That was a big deal at the time because, hey, a terabyte memory card was a great thing to have, but only Samsung made them when this phone came out. It also boasts a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and this one started out at $1,000, but it was a really great buy at the time, guys. Now, notice it's not that big, not that much bigger than the actual Note 8, but it's a little bit wider across the sides. So we're looking at a slightly bigger phone, but it wasn't really a whole lot of change in this phone or this device. S Pen had a few upgrades, and the fingerprint scanner was moved to the back in the middle instead of up here by the camera. But other than that, it was still a solid device. But was it worth the upgrade? In my opinion, no. That's why I didn't go for it. It didn't have enough things to make me want to upgrade from the 8 to the 9. But now, let's move on to the 10 and see why this one is going to be worth the upgrade. So right here in front of me, I have a dummy model of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And if you can look at it, it looks like it's going to be a beast of a phone. That's my hand right there. This is the phone. Phone is basically the same size as my hand. Now, we notice that the specs on this are going to be pretty much through the roof. So I'm going to give you the specs on the 10 as well as the 10 Plus. Now, like I said, this one in front of me right here is the actual 10 Plus model that I have. But notice these specs on the 10 Plus. You're going to get a 6.8 inch AMOLED QHD display, a Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, 12 gigs of RAM, guys, 12 gigs of RAM, and the initial storage is going to start out at 256 gigs. You get a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, a 12 megapixel wide angle lens, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide lens. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3 right up here along the top. And it's going to have a 4300 milliamp hour battery on board at the time when you get it. So what about that other one? The Galaxy Note 10, just the regular Note 10? Well, you're going to be looking at a 6.3 inch AMOLED FHD display, a slightly downplayed display, but to the naked eye, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. To the average consumer, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. You get a Snapdragon 855 as well, 8 gigs of RAM, initial storage 256. You get the same exact camera, 12 megapixel, and a 16 megapixel. You're still getting 3 cameras. You get a slightly smaller battery coming in at 3600 milliamp hours, but to the average person, those battery lives on either phone is going to be great. You're not going to have to worry about this phone dying throughout the day. You're going to get the same great quality as you would have 2 years ago on that Note 8. You get micro SD card slots, you get USB Type-C, you get speakers, you get a brand new S Pen that's going to be hitting the market. You get everything that you need and then some. So it's going to be a great device. I can't wait to put my hands on the real one and tell you guys all about it. But this has been my comparison. Galaxy Note 8, Galaxy Note 9, the 10, and the 10 Plus. So guys, there you have it. Broke down the full spec list on each phone. Each phone is great in its own respects. It's just the 8, the 9, the 10. You know, with each variant, with each series, you're gonna get better specs, you're gonna get better quality, you're gonna get better products. Hopefully the Note 10 will live up to the hype. Note 9 was a great phone. I just didn't want to get it right after the 8 because the 8 and the 9 were so similar. No real big issues, no real big changes between 8 and 9 except the battery life and the actual ability to be able to use that pen, the S Pen, in a different functionality. Other than that, same phone. So I skipped that generation and I'm going straight for the 10. So hopefully this is able to help someone out. Until next time, be sure and give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. Average Tech Guy out. Peace.